of this planet. She gives opportunities to women and to men as well, and to the theys and to the everybody to perform and be awesome. Thank you so much. And put your hands together for Dirty Girl Comedy herself, Justine Comedy! Right now. Jared got me earlier with his glitter herpy, and Nikita was in back. She's like, well, you're a burlesque dancer. Of course you're going to have glitter. I'm like, but it wasn't mine. That was non-consensual glitter. All that shit is terrible. But it's pretty. Oh, it's like me. No. Anyway. All right. So, I've been doing a lot of Zoom comedy, which is terrible. I'm going to be really honest with you. But it's been really fun as well. Like, to watch a Zoom comedy show is pretty miserable. There's no crowd interaction. It's not like this. Like, you're just looking into the camera like an asshole and there's no one really to look at, right? I can't be like, Sarah, are you enjoying yourself, right? Like, you can't do any of that because no one cares. And so, but I've been doing a ton of it. Now, here's what I realized. I have to start altering my act. And here's why. So if you've seen me before, you know that I am barren and haven't had sex in like 2.5 years. It's like fucking, it's just not happening. Which is fine. The only thing going in there is my diva cup. I actually have no problem with this. This is not an issue to me. However, it seems to be that gentlemen then take that as oh, clearly she wants my penis. And I'm like, oh, I never said that. So I was doing this Zoom show earlier this is terrible. I was doing this Zoom show earlier this week, and it was awesome, super fun. All these lovely ladies, a bit older, you know, like I'm 48, that's not old, like, it doesn't matter, anyway. But most of us were in our 40s or older, I will say. And and then there was this one dude on there, and I don't know how old he was, maybe 23, 24, right? And I thought, oh, you're dead. Like, what are you doing here? We're gonna tear you apart. But he was so sweet. So his whole set was how he likes older women, like, right? He's into older women, and you know, his biggest issue is that, you know, they have a problem with the age and this and that. And of course I had to make my little comment. I'm like, well, it doesn't bother me. He's like, oh, age doesn't bother you? I'm like, it's just a number, baby boy. I mean, don't be my daughter's age. That is vomitous. And if you're 78, you're off the table. Unless you're Jeff Goldblum, in which case I will fuck you until you're... Honest to God. I will stroke fuck Tim Curry, who's in a wheelchair. I don't care. I love him. Anyway, so I'm doing this whole bit that I had done like last week about Zoom comedy, about how I just don't think I can date American men anymore. They're just too like closed off in their sexuality. Like their only kink is choking. You know, or like violence towards women, like that's what they think a kink is. I'm like, I don't want to be choked, like that's not my thing. But I do want to peg somebody, right? Like this is my goal. Just let me, and for those of you that don't know what pegging is, love you. You can Google it. So, but it's like, those are my two go-tos on Pornhub, right? It's pegging and woman-on-woman pussy eating. That's all I watch. That's all I watch. So I'm like, been there, ready to do that. Right? That's my thing. That's my shtick. So anyway, so Austin does his whole set, and all of us cougars are like, oh, we're just like, we will eat you alive, baby boy, right? Like that's where we're at. Well, then, so part of the reason I do Zoom is networking, right? I'm getting to network with all of these comics on the East Coast, the West Coast. Like that's the beauty of doing Zoom is people who normally I wouldn't see or be able to connect with, I can now connect with. So as soon as I'm done, I'm like, oh, funny, not gonna follow them. Funny, funny, funny. And then I go through Insta and I follow everybody, right? And then we all tell each other how funny we are, and it's just this great thing. So little baby boy friends me, and I'm like, cool, yeah, no, you were very funny. Well, he wasn't friending for networking. He was like, so you live on the Big Island, right? And I was like, yep, and you're in California, right? Like, where do you see this going? Sweet summer child. Where do you see this heading? And here's the thing. thing. Like, I'm not desperate. I'm really not. If I never get another dick, I don't really care. Like, that's just where I'm at right now. So be charming if you're gonna try and hit on me. Don't just be like, oh, she wants the dick, I'll let her peg me, so this is gonna happen. I'm like, no. Let me be so clear. And he's hot, and he's hot as fuck. I even showed my kids, I was like, oh, fucking hot this guy. And they were like, he's fine. I'm like, I know he's fine. But here was the thing, this was his, like, come on, right? He was like, oh, girl, you so sexy. You hot as fuck. I'm like, I have 2 kids and I'm on food stamps. I'm hot to you? You like that? Do you? Fuck off. I know I'm hot. Tell me I'm funny! Honestly, if this is gonna go anywhere, you have to be charming. Because I don't care about age. Some of my best friends are, like my kids are, 2 of my very best friends are 15 and 17. I don't, watch Pornhub with them or anything. But if they want to talk about what pegging is, I'm here. I love you. Like, let's talk about this shit, right? If I had known in my 20s, I might not be like, oh, I just want to stuff a dick in a man's ass. So he is not letting go, right? He's not, and I said something about my daughter, and he was like, oh, you have kids? And I was like, mm-hmm, yes I do. And he was like, oh, what are you, like 33? I was like, Austin. Yes. Well, no, I don't even know I'm not 33. Like, that's not it. That is, don't pander to me. I hate that. Don't do that. Just be honest and be like, bitch, I would love you to ride my face and that 48-year-old wraparound pussy you got that. Yes! How about that? Well, then I started thinking about it logistically. How would this even happen? Like, clearly he thinks a middle-aged woman has their life together. I drive a Nissan Sentra, for fuck's sake. I do not have my life together. Let's be very clear. Not that there's anything wrong with a nice, reliable vehicle like a Nissan. But what do you think is going to happen? Here's the best part. I live with my ex-boyfriend. It's a very Nick Miller, Jessica Day, New Girl situation. Although we'll probably never get back together. Like, that's where it's at, right? And so, like, I still have feelings for him. He's like he's my favorite person. He's my best friend, and he's also my ex-boyfriend. I have 2 teenage daughters, and I have a 2-bedroom home. The daughters have the bedroom so they can have the privacy. Guess where X and I sleep? Oh, in the living room. 2 separate beds, toe to toe. It's so sexy. It's so sexy. And so then I was like, yeah, are you gonna fly over to Hawaii and I'll just have my ex-boyfriend roommate go in my daughter's room with the dogs so we can have a little privacy? What do you think is gonna happen? Nothing is happening here. I can't even date anybody. Here's what it's like to date me. It's horrible. Those of you that are friends with me on Facebook know that this morning, my dog ate her own shit. Tuna fish sandwich. I had no idea. I took them both out. They both pottied. I congratulate. Good job. Yes, you did. Look at that poopy. Well done. I had no idea she fucking ate it. She ate her own shit. Tuna fish sandwich. So I'm sitting on my ex-lover's bed, and we're looking at something on his phone, and all of a sudden I'm like, I get hit in the face with the smell of shit. Here's my first thought. It's in the morning. I was like, oh my God, my breath. I did. And then I looked at him and I was like, do you smell that? He goes, you know how your nose is, you can smell things a mile away. I'm like, it literally smells like straight shit. I can't believe you can't smell it. Like, what is happening right now that you don't smell this? And I'm like, I can't even sit here anymore. I thought, did you fart? Has a dog? What is happening? So I get up and I walk around the bed and I go, squish. Ow. Tuna fish sandwich. Threw up her poopies. And I didn't hear it because she did it off the side of the bed onto the floor. That's what it's like to live with me. Let me be very fucking clear. Here's what it's like to date me. Said ex-lover, who I live with now and I still love very much, I was sucking his dick one night. I was like, you want me to suck your dick? And he's like, really? Because it never happens. And I was like, yeah, because I had wine, right? I was like, yeah, girl. Bring that shit over, right? we have 2 dogs. The kids are gone. We have 2 dogs. If we put them in the bathroom or put them somewhere, they just scratch at the door. Like, I can't. I'm like, that's too much pressure. I can't. So the dogs, wild and free. I'm under the covers, right? So it's for privacy, obviously. One of my dogs, tiny little nibbies, she is a part fox terrier. So she does this. So suddenly, as I'm, you know, as my head is going up and down, and my hand is going up and down, and my tongue is making the nice circle that you're supposed to do, Nibby starts bouncing on my head. And I get the, please stop, please stop. I was like, this is not gonna happen. The dog's gonna go in the bathroom. So I ripped the covers back. Again, I'd had about a bottle of wine. So I'm like, well, I don't give a shit, let the dog. So I ripped the covers back, and he goes, don't let the dog lick my dick. And for a split second, I was like, that would be so funny. My mom came over the other day to do her laundry because her laundry machine was broken. And I have a yoni steamer, which I've never used because it terrifies me. And it's sitting by the laundry machine, right? And so my mom's, you know, doing her shit, whatever, and she leaves. And I see there's trash in my yoni steamer. And I called my mother and I was like, that is not so I took a picture. I was like, here's the trash, here's the yoni steamer, here's the fucking cardboard recycling. She threw trash in there too. I'm like, what, were you born in a barn? Who raised you, you dumb bitch? So, hi Mom. She's watching. I forgot. Fuck that bitch, she knows me. All right. So she's throwing all of her trash in my yoni steamer, so I'm like digging out Q-tips and shit, and I thought, if this just isn't a metaphor for my dating life, I don't know what else. Whatever. Just whatever. So I'm also gluten-free, vegan, and sober, therefore solidifying that I will die alone. Sober vegan people are the worst people on the planet, and here's why. While I commend, and I follow all the pages, and I'm all like, give support, right? Like, yeah, we don't eat meat, and that's cool, and I do it not only for health reasons, but for ethical reasons, and I don't care if you eat a cow's ass, this is not something I want to discuss with you later, and if you really don't know where protein comes from, do another fucking Google search right after pegging. So, oh, it's exhausting. That's literally why Google exists. I shouldn't have to explain this. So, I'm all like, yeah, the roll, right? So people are like, oh, they'll post these nice vegan memes, and I'm always like, love, yes, I agree. And there's always fucking one Betty who's like, I've been vegan for 40 years and proud of it. She does this whole rant, and I'm like, no one fucking cares. Susan, congratulate. What do you want? Right? What do you want for them? Great. Like what? Oh, shut up. That's what I want to say. Congratulations, shut your fucking mouth. No one cares. So, it's very similar to sober people are some of the most judgmental people you will meet, especially ones that used to drink and are now sober. Like me. Like my neighbor got into a car accident and I feel really, she's fine, everybody's fine, but she was drunk and backed into somebody. And I looked at my lover, ex-boyfriend, roommate, and I was like, I'm working it, man. Work that angle, make it happen. No, he's terrified of me. Anyway. And I looked at him and I go, well, what was she doing driving? Like I didn't get a I got a DUI so long ago, it was called a DWI. And I went to fucking jail, right? So like that's how bad that shit was. And here I'm all like, well, you know, she shouldn't be. Bitch, shut the fuck up. That's what I'm saying, right? Shut the fuck up. But that DUI was so bad, I pissed myself in the back of the cop car. Oh no! I deserved to go to jail. I never should have been driving. And my pissing was a fuck you to the police. I deserved the handcuffs, I deserved the dirty underwear they gave me to put on when they put me in jail, and I deserved Yolanda to take my breakfast in the morning. So let's be very clear that I deserved the whole thing. But it's just funny to me how, and then once you become sober, it's like, oh, I climbed a mountain sober for the first time, and oh, I went snorkeling sober for the first time. Like, you should probably always snorkel sober. Like, maybe that's just me. Oh, I wiped my ass sober for the first time. How drunk were you? it's only been 6 months. I will drink.